Shalom. This is about Parashat Pikudei. It's the last portion in the book of Exodus, Shemot. It's often read with Vayakhel, which is the week before, but this year, 5768, 2008, it's read by itself because of the leap year. There are several different ports about it. First of all, it says, Kasher tziva Adonai et Moshe. God commanded Moses 18 times in the portion. So obviously there's a lot of God instructing. And it's mostly about the tabernacle and the priests. Martin Buber, who was a great thinker of Judaism, noted the similarities between the establishment and creation and the building of the Mishkan and the similar creation of the world. In fact, the word Vayachulu, and he ceased, and the word Asa, and Vayar, and Vihine, and Vayivarech are all contained in both the construction of the tabernacle and the creation of the world. Marci Eliade, who was a great professor of religion at the University of Chicago, the Divinity School, said that historically ancient peoples created their tabernacle to reflect their view of the cosmos. That seems to be reflected here in the portion. It begins with the accounting of materials, and that's interesting that Moses should account for what was used in constructing the tabernacle. And it shows not only that there are a lot of Jewish accountants, but it shows the importance of people in leadership not being monkeying around with money and being absolutely above board and being totally clear. Jewish law says no priest could go into the temple with pockets, and you had to have two people collecting money, the strict rules. Then it talks about the robes and the clothing of the high priest, and it says specifically the priest was only to function as a priest wearing priestly clothing. And I did other videos on modesty and the importance of dressing, and mentioned that the Latin expression I remember from high school, vestis rerum rede, clothes make the man. Well, certainly in this case, the priest had to look the part. Now, we don't do that today for rabbis, but that was in antiquity. Then it said that Moses saw what he was established and created, and he blessed the congregation for the work, as we should bless, and as God blessed after the created world. And then we have the story about the actual erection of the tabernacle. The previous passages, the last few portions of the Torah dealing with what should happen in the tabernacle, what should be done, but now it was actually established and erected as the first temple, the first portable temple. Then Aaron is actually anointed. Before it was described as what should happen for the anointing, but now Aaron is actually anointed as high priest. And then it says when everything was finished, the cloud lifted to indicate that people should move, kind of reminiscent of that very beautiful verse later on in the Torah in Deuteronomy. It says, you've stayed long enough at this mountain. It's time to move. Now you have this portable tabernacle, make it portable, use it, move it in the desert. Then I talked before in a video that I did about the first tabernacle and the temples, what happened to the ark. So those are the various things that are contained in this week's Torah portion. A few other things. First of all, it's interesting to note that the priest had to wear bells, and so he'd make a lot of noise when he entered anything. And that I think is very important. And again, why do we study this and care about this and read it besides it's in the Torah? I think it's very, as I mentioned in the video I did on tabernacle and the first and second temple, it intrigues us to see the dedication of our ancestors who in the midst of the desert experience, when they had plenty of things to worry about, they responded to what they heard as God saying, and they're eager to create a visible means to demonstrate their loyalty and their relationship to God. And to this day, people cherish their places of religious institution, their religious instruction, and that is the end of the book of Exodus. And now we begin the book of Vayikra after this, the book of Leviticus with all its very important rules of antiquity and modernity.